Hello, today we're going to go through the most effective way of conducting a citation search with Web of Science. A cited reference search is a really useful function of this database. This is a great way to find up-to-date literature related to your topic, see where the research led to, and also to start to establish the impact that a particular article or author has had in the field. We're going to look now at the basic citation search method, so that you can then have a play with it yourselves and discover other useful features and its limitations. For this example, we're going to look at a citation search for the article Models in Information Behaviour Research by T. Wilson. And it's worth pointing out that Library of Information Science articles tend to have a relatively low citation count compared to other disciplines, where citations can number in the tens of thousands. However, it's still a useful tool for us, particularly to show where information science research has had an impact on other fields. Obviously, you'll generally get a lot more results when you're citation searching an older source. So today I've chosen one from 1999. You might have found the source that you want to do a citation search for by using Web of Science itself, or you might have found that reference elsewhere. Here we already know the details of the article. But although Web of Science has really good coverage of high impact journals and conference proceedings, it doesn't cover everything. So it's worth starting by checking that the article we want to do a citation search for is indexed by Web of Science. So let's go into the basic search. This is the basic search page, and I'm going to do a title search for the article that we want. I'm going to use quotation marks around it so that it doesn't get lost in a really long list of results. And we'll select title from the drop down box here. So we run that search. And here we have the article that we're looking for, indexed in Web of Science, and we can click on this title and get all that bibliographic information, if we didn't have it before, plus the abstract, whether or not we have institutional access to the journal itself. And as you can see, we also have a handy listing for the number of times that this article has been cited. Now, this index page citation count is really useful, as if something's been heavily cited, it's going to be indicated here. And if you click on this link, you'll have a list of the articles that cite it, which again you can click through from to the index page and the abstract. However, if you want to do a really thorough citation search, you're going to want to use a different method. This is basically because researchers and authors aren't infallible. They make mistakes in their referencing, as we all do, and referencing standards can be inconsistent across different publications. So, to be as effective and thorough as possible, we're going to want to go back to the search interface, and this time we're going to choose from this drop down here the cited reference search. Now you see here that it suggests 3 different fields for our reference information, and by using these fields rather than the title or any extra information about volumes and page numbers, there's a good chance that your search is going to pick up everything that cited this article, even if they didn't get their referencing quite right. So for the author of this article, I know it's T.D. Wilson, but to make sure that I'm picking everything up, I'm going to use a wildcard asterisk after the T, so that we'll see the citations however they format into the author's name. And if there's multiple authors, it's best just to use the lead author's name in this field. Now for cited work, Web of Science uses its own abbreviations to refer to each journal that it indexes. I'm going to need to click through to the abbreviation list and then select the correct one for the journal of documentation. Now it's a bit hard to find as there's rather a long list, but I'm going to scroll down till we find journal of documentation. Obviously there's quite a lot that start with journal. And here we have it. So it's journal documentation and the abbreviation is JDoc. So we'll copy and paste that into the cited work. And then we know that our cited year is 1999. And when I'm happy with these fields, I'm going to run this search. So the next page that it gives us is a list of all the variations of the citation that meet my search criteria. Now the top line is citations that have included the DOI, so they're definitely correct, and they are the ones that would have been picked up in that index page citation count. The other ones that we can see are citations that have made some rather interesting variations on the page number, or they formatted the author's name slightly differently, and these are the ones that wouldn't have been picked up originally. Sometimes there'll be a listing in here that's fairly obviously not for the same article, but we can be pretty certain that all of these are. So I'm going to select all and then click Finish Search. And do it again. And here we have our list of 464 articles that have all cited Wilson's 1999 article. And obviously these are all clickable through to their index page and their abstract. If we want to, from this list we can go through and select ones that look particularly interesting to us, and we might want to come back to later, and we can add these to the marked list, which saves them for future reference. The other thing that we can do with this result list is use the normal search field, so if we want to narrow them down to a specific journal or field, we can do that here. And the other thing that we can do, particularly if we look at the older articles, is again we can see their rough citation counts, that we can then repeat the process with these. So we can really follow that research trail and see where the citations lead us as we try to find more material. So you can really see from these results how useful this function can be for widening your understanding of a particular field and finding relevant sources that you might not have come across in other ways. Before we finish though, it's worth pointing out that although even a comprehensive citation search doesn't really tell the whole story, and although it will return all the results that are indexed in the Web of Science, it doesn't cover everything. Open access journals in particular are not fully covered, neither are books and lots of other types of publishing that are particularly important in social sciences or humanities field. However, for sciences and medicine, citation counts in journals with high impact factors, such as those indexed by Web of Science, really matter when assessing the credibility of a source and its impact. So the value of a citation search really varies in each discipline. As you work through the practice examples of citation searches, have a think about the limits to the results you're finding and additional ways that you can explore the impact of an article. So that's all for this demonstration, and I hope that it's been a useful introduction to how and why to do a cited reference search in Web of Science. Thank you.